Hi guys, and welcome to this edition of Phyrefli's Video Digest. As always, thank you very much for watching. Now, as you know, Armoured has been released. It was released a few weeks ago for the premium subscribers, and for us non-premium scrubs it came out a few days ago. Unlike Close Quarters, which pretty much was universally panned by the vets from Battlefield 2 and earlier games, AK seems to receive quite a mixed reception. There's a number of people that I've played with for a long time that have turned around and said, this is how Battlefield 3 should have been right at the very beginning. Some of the maps are good, some of the maps aren't that good. Rush seems to be pretty much a fail from a lot of people's feedback. However, the general feeling is that DICE have headed in the right direction with this expansion pack. So, unusually, a bit of positive news there for EA and for DICE. Now, as you may know, the Battlefield 3 tournament started last weekend with its first match in the fourth Tour of Duty for Battlefield 3. So that'll continue on for a further 9 weeks. Then there'll be a couple of weeks break, and then it'll start on TOD5. And in TOD5, they're going to have the Armoured Kill maps, which means that yours truly is going to be buying it about then. So, hands up, I've got to say I will be buying this expansion pack. I can also say as well that on the 29th of September, Global Conflict, which is another large-scale tournament, you can find them at global-conflict.org. They will also be starting their new campaign as well. If you want to take part in that, go across to their website, sign up for it. Again, personally never played that one, but I've had a lot of good feedback about people who have played in there, and they say it's a great campaign to play in. Now, if the first part of this digest was a good news story for EA and for DICE, this second part is most definitely bad. What EA have decided to do is to monetize, or attempt to monetize, all of the Battlefield 3 gameplay videos. Now, under normal circumstances, to a viewer, that pretty much doesn't mean anything. When we watch a gameplay video, for example the ones I upload from BF3T, you'll have the little advertisement at the bottom of it. You're going to see that now. You'll see that whether it's monetized or not by EA. The only difference is that the money goes to EA instead of to Google, or rather a portion of the money goes to EA. However, where this is going to affect people is those people who monetize their videos on YouTube. So for example, let's say that you are somebody like Doubling Johnny. Got about 6,000 subscribers, put out videos, monetize those videos, you make a little bit of extra income on the side to subsidize what you bring in your day job. Everyone's happy. But what EA have done now is ensure that if you're using gameplay videos, they will attempt to take that revenue from you, so you get nothing. Now, it's a bit of a grey area because you can plead fair use, and YouTube's own website says that if you take, for example, a gameplay video, add commentary onto it which is instructional or educational, then under fair use policies you can claim the revenue. But this YouTube does seem to be coming down on EA and other developers' side. Personally, I've had similar videos of myself. For example, I put one up a few months ago about Nuclear Dawn, which was a walkthrough and introduction to Nuclear Dawn. Completely gameplay, but my voice over the top of it. I wasn't able to monetize that because the money went to the developers of Nuclear Dawn. And the same thing is happening to EA with BF3. Now, Henry Blackburn posted up on Battlelog to say that this is something that YouTube have done. They have introduced a system within their Content ID system which allows them to identify BF3 gameplay and then assign the revenue from that to EA. Personally, I call bullshit. I don't believe that YouTube are going to single-handedly single out Battlefield 3 for this kind of a system. If they were going to do that, then what about Modern Warfare 3? What about other games? They only seem to have done it by BF3. So personally, I think what's happened is that EA have contacted YouTube and said, look, we want to take the revenue from this. Can you do it with your Content ID system? YouTube have looked at it, done what EA have required or asked, and then it's only now being implemented. So as I said, this has got quite a number of people up in arms. It doesn't actually affect really anyone apart from those who are gaining revenue from YouTube. And to gain any really significant revenue, you've really got to have between a minimum of 5,000 to 10,000 subscribers, because it's only with that volume of viewers that you start to see anything approaching more than $1 or $2 per video. But it is a pretty down dirty, nasty trick. It may net EA a few $100,000 here and there, but it's going to piss off a whole bunch of people within the community. Now, I'd say some people have turned around and said they're going to delete their videos, and that is really cutting off your own nose to spite your face. Most of us put up the videos just simply to show the gameplay, to have a bit of fun, maybe to keep a record of a tournament. Deleting those videos doesn't make sense. Don't do that. Okay, EA might get a big revenue, so what? The chances are, unless you've got 50,000 views on your video, the chances are they're going to get a pittance anyway. So EA, not a good move. I understand why you did it. You need the revenue. Your company's having problems. Fair enough. But it's a fantastically excellent way of making sure you've cheesed off a rather large number of people who put up videos on your game to YouTube, most of the time for no other reason than they just simply want to. Now, as you may know, community management is a big thing for me. It's something I'm heavily into. And some of the companies I've been using as poster boys for great community management are companies like Tudor, for example, who created Ravaged, and also Unknown Worlds, who've created Natural Selection 2, a game I'll talk about a little bit later. About the only large developer or development house that I've used as an example has been SOE, Sony Online Entertainment. They're the guys that make Planetside 2, which is a game I've been playing an awful lot over the last month or so, and I have to say is absolutely cracking game, even more so because it's free to play. Now, before I carry on with what I'm about to say, let me just make something clear. I have no problem with the company making a profit. I have no problem with the company pulling back money it's invested into a game. I have no problem with the company monetizing a game. Otherwise, they won't exist. Games won't exist. It's a simple equation. So please, if you're going to make a comment about what I'm about to say, understand I have no problem with making money from a game or a product. What SOE have done is introduced, or started to introduce, a new membership scheme. So originally you had free to play, which was going to be subsidized and monetized through cosmetic items, which you can buy in the in-game store, and side grades. Then we had the Founders Pack, or Alpha Squad. Now, Alpha Squad I think is a great idea. It gives you a possibility of being able to support the developer by paying $40. You get $40 worth of station cash, so you're on a straight one-to-one there. But you also get some cosmetic items, and for 10 months you get a 10% boost in your experience. So it's a win-win, and it's something I'd penciled in to buy at some point. In fact, another game called MechWarrior Online did something similar, and I bought the most expensive Founders Pack, which is $120 on that. So what I'm trying to show here is I have no problem supporting a developer that's doing a good job. But what SOE have now done is introduce a concept of this membership plan, or effectively a monthly subscription. What you get for it is a 50% increase in experience and in resources in return for paying $14.99 per month. Now, this is something that I'm starting to object to, and I'm starting to wonder if SOE are using what I call the boiled lobster approach. Take a step back. 3 years, 4 years ago, somebody in SOE went up to the management and said, guys, we want to develop a new engine, we're going to call it Forge Light. We want to create a sequel to Planetside with that, and we want to make it free to play. Now, I'm pretty sure that somebody in the management turned around and said, excellent guys, how are we going to make money out of this? If the people who were making the pitch turned around and said, we don't know, they would not have received the go-ahead. So my belief is that the team at SOE have known well in advance how they're going to monetize the game. And what I'm objecting to is this drip approach of, well, we'll do Alpha Squad, and then a few weeks later we get this membership. And I'm starting to wonder what on earth is going to come after that, because the membership, the way it's structured, if you're going to have a 50% increase paying $14.99 per month, what you're going to do is grind as quickly as possible during the month or 2 or 3 months when you're paying for the membership, get all the certs and get all the experience and everything else that you want, and then you're going to drop it. If I went ahead and subscribed to it, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd set aside 1 or 2 months, basically play Planetside 2, just that, and then afterwards I'd drop it. So SOE are going to require further ways of monetizing their game, and that means you're going to come out with something else in the future. And it's, as I say, I don't object to a developer monetizing the game. SOE needs to make a profit. Understood, fine. But be upfront. Tell us what you're planning on doing and what you're planning on offering. Be upfront with us, and then we'll turn around and say, well, hey, these guys are being honest. Fair enough. What I'll do is I'll do the membership on this for 3 months. I'll do the alpha squad, and then I'll do maybe a minimum membership of say $5 a month, but just to keep me going on and to support the developer. I've no problem with that. What I have a problem is this drip approach. Now, in a way, I am nitpicking here somewhat. It is about the only thing I think I've found to complain about with Planetside 2 yet. And if that is the only thing, I'm happy with that. It's a great game. The guys have done a fantastic job. Their communication with us, the community, has been exemplary, and I really can't fault them for anything apart from this one thing. So if anyone from SOE does actually watch this video and does get this feedback, please do keep in mind that most people like to know upfront what the options are. Tell us what you're planning on doing. Don't use a drip approach. We've had that from other developers. It doesn't go down very well. And apart from everything else, keep on doing what you're doing. Keep on making a fabulous game because it's excellent to play, and keep on the good work. Now I'm going to close this edition of the Digest by introducing you to a game that you may not have heard before called Natural Selection 2. It is Aliens versus Marines. Now about a month, 6 weeks ago, one of my clanmates, a guy called Ketamim, strange name, fair enough, I'll agree with that, started bugging us all about this game and showed us a few videos. It looked interesting. I put it to one side and thought, I'm playing too much Planetside 2 right now. Even if I buy it, I'm not going to play it anyway, so I'll leave it. Then a couple of weeks ago, a tweet went out from the guys at NS2, and they gave free game keys to 4 people. For some reason, and I still haven't actually figured out why, for some reason, I was one of them. So I've been playing this game almost non-stop for about the last week to 10 days. It's a great game. It's an indie game. It's about $25 off Steam. It's asymmetric, so the Marines have got one set of weapons and technology and way of fighting. The aliens have got a completely different one. It is at most about 12v12, but most servers are 8v8. And it also, very much like Nuclear Dome, encompasses an RTS approach. So you have a commander who has a top-down view, and he can place, for example, armories, sentry guns, what's called phase gates, so you can teleport from one place to another. And he operates that, does the research as well, while the rest of the Marines go out and kill the enemies, or the aliens kill the Marines. It's one of those games that is fairly easy to pick up at the end of the day. The basics are an FPS, you shoot stuff, but it's quite difficult to master. And one of the reasons I feel for that is, well, take Battlefield 3. If you're playing Battlefield 3, you can pretty much see immediately how your team's doing by number of tickets left, number of flags that you've got, etc, etc. Within Natural Selection 2, you simply don't have that. It's difficult to tell how many hives or command centers the other team's got. It's difficult to tell how much of an area that they control. It's difficult to get an idea of the flow of battle. And I must have been playing this game about 8-9 hours, probably more. And I still consider myself a complete rookie at it. Now, in and of itself, that's interesting because I find myself wanting to play more, wanting to get better. And what I'm planning on doing is putting out a new player guide to it over the next few days. It is a good game, and it does warrant investing that amount of time. It's something to take a look at. It is also aimed to a certain degree esports, and they've already had several championships. And there's a guy called Hugh who's their community manager, and he's done an excellent job of doing live streams and video recordings and shoutcasts of different matches. So there's a lot of content up on YouTube to take a look at. Also have a look at my channel. I've got one video up there at the moment, some more will be going up over the next few days. So it's definitely one to look at. It's called Natural Selection 2. If you like straight FPSs, if you ever liked Nuclear Dawn or RTS games, if you like Aliens and Space Marines, and let's face it, who doesn't? And if you like esports and very competitive games, have a look at it. Let me know what you think, because I think it's a great game, but always open to feedback. So that's it for this edition of the Digest. Again, as always, thank you very much for watching and for listening. Enjoy your gaming. Take care.